It's Monday all over again. Welcome to a new week. Hopefully your weekend was relaxing and it's time for you to reset and get ready to get back on this grind again. Today I want to encourage you guys to keep going until you find your groove or your rhythm. What I mean by that is keep going and keep trying and keep working until that work and that going and that trying becomes second nature. As an athlete, we often hear about finding a rhythm, finding a groove, and what that basically means is you continue to do something until you're locked in. Continue to have success at it until you're locked in. A lot of times this only comes from repetition. Shooters gotta shoot. Gotta get on the court, take shots. Basketball players, especially sharpshooters, take thousands and make thousands of shots a day just to get that muscle memory, just to get their body feeling what it needs to feel in order to achieve the success that they're after. A shooter that shoots enough and gets into a good enough groove, they can feel when a shot is going in, when it's not. They can feel when their body goes out of alignment and something ends up messing up. And so I dare you to continue to try, continue to work until you find yourself in your groove or your rhythm. Because once you find that groove and you find that rhythm, then it will be second nature. Then it will be easy to get up and go back to work and try something else. It'll be easy to get up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to get out and go work and improve at your craft. Then it'll be easy. That's when the best ideas start to come out. That's when you start to take risks and take chances that you may not have taken before. I played basketball in high school and I watch it religiously. And anybody who watches basketball knows what a heat check is. When a player finds himself in such a rhythm, everything is going in. Eventually they start to take a couple steps back further out of their normal range and start taking shots that they may not have taken in other circumstances, in another situation. And if they can make it from there, then they take another step back. They can make it from there, they take another step back, and they're taking shots, taking chances that they wouldn't take if they hadn't gotten into a rhythm. But because they've gotten into a rhythm, it seems like these shots continue to go in. So I dare you to just keep working, keep plugging away till you find your rhythm, till you find your groove. Because then when you start taking shots and taking chances and taking opportunities, this is when your creativity peaks. This is when you start doing things that people thought you couldn't do. This is when you start doing things that you may have thought you couldn't do. This is when you really start creating. This is when you really start seeing the change and start seeing the difference. The things that you used to become second nature, and you can feel yourself taking steps further out of your comfort zone. You can feel yourself taking chances, doing things that you may not have thought you could do before. To keep going. Keep taking those shots. Shooters shoot. Keep taking those shots. Stepping back. Keep taking more shots and stepping back. Till you find yourself in your groove and find yourself in your rhythm. And then keep shooting until you miss. And when you miss, shoot again until you can get your rhythm right back. I dare you to keep working until it becomes second nature. And then it doesn't feel like work anymore. That's when you really start having fun and enjoying it. And your true passion. And then you start seeing the results that you're after. It's another day. It's another chance and another opportunity for us to get up and do something great. Get out and create something great. Get up and be something great. And I hope that we all take that opportunity today. This time I want to talk to you guys about having discipline and how important that is. I feel like it's very apropos to talk about discipline after we've talked about rhythm and routine and finding your flow, because you won't be able to develop a rhythm or a groove or a routine if you don't have discipline. Discipline is you getting up and doing what you know you ought to do. Discipline is you getting up and doing what you need to do and handling your business even when you don't feel like it. For some of us, that means waking up 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. For some people, that means going to bed 2 or 3 o'clock at night. For some people, that means waking up in the middle of the night, write down their ideas so they don't forget it. Some people that means taking 1,000 shots a day. Some people that means getting up and doing something musical, writing or producing something every day. And that's how you eventually get the routine, because at some point, if you have the discipline to keep working and keep plugging away and keep doing what you know you should be doing, eventually it'll become second nature. And your body will start to do it even if your mind says we don't need to. I was listening to Eric Thomas a couple days ago, and he was talking about how he gets up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning to work out. Obviously, some days he doesn't want to do that. I mean, this is a man who, writes books and gives speeches and motivation every day around the world. This is a man who has his hat in multiple rings right now, is doing so many things and has his hat in so many things that, of course, some days he's tired, doesn't want to do it. But he says that on those days he feels like he doesn't feel like doing it, and his body says, well, we've already done the hard part. We're already up. Just put your shoes on. We'll take it from here. That's what your work ethic will do. That's what your discipline will do for you. And eventually, when you feel like you don't want to do the work, and eventually when you feel like you don't want to wake up early that day, you don't want to stay up late that night, your body will say, well, we already did the work. We already did the hard part. We'll take it from there. It'll become second nature to you. And that's when you start seeing the results. That's when you start seeing things happen. That's when you start taking those heat checks and making those heat checks. Because you've got the discipline. And you've been putting in work at this for so long. Even if you're new to this, just make sure that you're true to this. And you're going to work and work and work and outwork everybody else. It's Wednesday today, the middle of the week, the turning point of the week. I hope that all of us so far have been taking the time to do something great, create something great, be something great. And my message today to you guys is, don't be afraid to show your teeth. Or simply put, bring some intensity. Attack every day. By now you've noticed that the King's Corner logo incorporates a lion and a crown. Lions are never timid creatures. They can't afford to be timid creatures. Too much is riding on them. Too many other lions are dependent on them for what they end up hunting. If they don't kill, they don't eat. That needs to be your mentality every day of your life, while you're chasing the perfection of your craft, while you're chasing greatness. Too many of us are passive and waiting on things to come to us. We go through life reacting, adjusting, instead of taking initiative and going on the attack first. Why do we prefer to live our lives on defense? Only making moves, switching up, taking chances when something else didn't work out. A lion is on alert at all times, planning, plotting. A lion's attitude is, as soon as you're close enough, I'm on you. As soon as you're in range, I'm attacking with every intention of taking you down. And the closer you get, the more sure I am that I have to win. Instead of letting you get close enough to level the playing field, I'm going to strike first as soon as you get in range and you're close enough for me to get to you. So my challenge to all of you today is to get on the attack as soon as you see a target in sight. Some people and some things may try and challenge you, but if I show you my teeth and I show you how far I'm willing to go to beat you, or how hard I'll fight to protect what I have and to go after what I want, I'll scare you out of ever challenging me. I won't even have to bite you if I can make you fear me biting you. So let's all get up and let's show our teeth and get on the attack, man. For me, Wednesday is usually a day off, a day of rest, a day to relax. But I'm up, I'm working, I'm attacking because I see a target in sight. And I don't even have to bite that target if I can make that target fear my bite. If I can just show I'm willing to work and I'm willing to go and do whatever it takes to take that target down, eventually I'll win. And that's all I'm trying to do right now is win. It's Thursday morning. We're getting real close to the weekend. We're getting real close to surviving and getting through another week. But I'm going to make sure that we're all still staying focused. We're all still working hard. We're all still staying hungry. We're all still hunting, going after something great. I still want you to take the time this morning to set yourself up to go and do something great, to go and be something great, to go and create something great. This morning I want to go back and put a little bit more focus on making sure you respect the OGs of your game. I don't know what it is that you're attempting to do. I don't know what your game is, but you need to find and seek out the people who are the top names in your game. Seek out the ones who are the best of the best at what it is that you're trying to do. Seek out the ones who have made the blueprint for the success that you're after. And even if it's not in the field that you're in, at least seek out somebody that has the same kind of values, the same kind of work ethic, the same kind of drive, or the same kind of story that you had. And let their actions guide you into the success that you're after and the success that you're looking for. You know, if you guys have heard me the last couple of days, last couple of weeks really, it seems like every day I'm either referencing Kobe Bryant or Eric Thomas. Those two men are mentors for me. They're people that I'm chasing. They're people that I'm looking at. I'm seeing their work ethic and how hard they grinded, how hard they worked to get where they got and where Eric Thomas still is and where he's still going. You know, I look at that and I admire that. My pastor, he's another mentor for me. Somebody that I can go to and ask questions. How would you handle this? What would you do in this situation? You gotta respect the OGs and respect those who've done it, those who are doing it and have been doing it for a long time. And then, you know, having respect for them, look at them, study them, learn them. If you can get in contact with these people, ask questions. You know, if you don't have somebody that you can ask questions, how are you going to get direction? If you don't have somebody that you can go to for advice, how are you going to get direction? How are you going to get further? You know, so study the people that are the utmost names in your game. Study the people that have done what you're trying to do. Study the people that have achieved the success that you're trying to achieve. And then, if you don't want to emulate them, that's fine. But honor and pay homage to them by taking what they did, taking the success that they gained, and taking it further, doing it your way. But you always gotta respect and you gotta honor the people who made this game, who created this situation, who are the top voices, the top faces in your game. Without them, you wouldn't even have somebody to chase. Without them, you wouldn't have somebody to emulate. You wouldn't have that person that is the standard. You wouldn't have a standard to chase and try and get to. You wouldn't know what success looked like if somebody hadn't done it for you, before you, and given you an example to follow. They've left these examples for a reason. They've done these teachings for a reason. You know, they open up for questions and, you know, drop these eggs and drop this knowledge for a reason. We've got to do our part and pay attention and pick up where they left off. Pick up the things that they did. Pick up that ball and take it even further. It's Friday morning now, so we've all made it to the weekend. We've made it through another week. Some of you probably have to go to work today, but looking forward to tomorrow. Looking forward to being able to relax and unwind. Not have those responsibilities for a while, be able to focus on you and focus on your purpose and your goals and what you're trying to do. And I just want to leave us with this for the end of the week. I'm going to leave us with a message to aim higher for next week and next time around. Aim higher every day. One of my favorite nuggets that I dropped yesterday was that you got to have somebody to follow. You gotta have somebody that you pay attention to. You look at what they're doing. You look at the things that they've put together and the things that, you know, they've been able to create, the things they've been able to do, and how they've been successful at what they've been successful at. And looking at them, you know, not only does it make you realize and let you have them as an example, but it makes you want to work even harder. you see them and you see what they're doing and you see what they've, been able to accomplish, and it makes you want something different for yourself. It makes you want even better and want even more for yourself. One of my favorite rivalries as a basketball player, one of my favorite rivalries was watching or hearing about Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. They had a documentary, and they both talked about the importance of paying attention to what the other guy did. And they came into the league at the same time. Their first encounter, their first game against each other, to this day is still the highest rated basketball game ever. When their college teams faced off for the championship. So of course they go into the NBA life with a rivalry, and Larry Bird wins the Rookie of the Year, and Magic says, "Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna go out and win an NBA championship and have one of the most iconic games ever." And for the next decade or so, they dominated the landscape of the NBA, playing against each other multiple times. Their teams winning championships multiple times, dominating that era. Magic won 5, Larry won 3. And then as they got older and retirement crept up, Magic retired first, and Larry said it felt like a piece of him had retired at that point. He wasn't checking stat sheets anymore. He wasn't checking, the box scores anymore. He didn't have anybody to chase. He didn't have anybody to follow. He didn't have anything to aim for. So I want you to think of who it is that you're aiming for. I want you to think of who is at the top of your industry, at the top of your game. And when you see them, don't just want to get where they are. Don't just want to get what they have, but want to get even further than that. Aspire to shoot past them. Aspire to leave their mark in the dust, because you go so much further and so much higher. So many of us, for me personally, when I started with music, my whole thing was around one song. I just wanted to record one song. That was it. If I got one song down, I would have been fine. But then it was like, you know what, if I know I can do one song, maybe I can do one project. And then when I did one project, it was like, well, maybe I can start one series. And maybe I can go even further and go even further. Don't limit yourself. Push it even further. Aim higher. Maybe the reason why you're not satisfied is because you're aiming too low. You just want to get started. You just want to start and stay at the bottom. But I dare you to aim higher and dream even further. Because even if you don't reach it, you'll get further than you were before. Even if you don't reach every lofty goal and every expectation that you have, you'll get close. And you'll get a lot closer than you did when you were just aiming just to get started, just to do one thing. So take this time this weekend to just think about your goals and think about how you can push it even further. Think about the dreams that you have and think about how you can push it even further. Think about who's at the top of your industry and think about what it would take to pass them. It's going to be a lot of hard work. It's going to take a lot of time. It's not going to be done in a day. But even if you don't reach where you're thinking about in your head, you'll get a lot further than you could have ever imagined if you didn't try.